Lucas was an insomniac, spending countless nights aimlessly browsing the internet in search of something to occupy his restless mind. He had seen it all, the weird, the creepy, the disturbing. But nothing really shook him anymore. That was until one night he found a link in a forum he frequented. The post simply read, "For those who dare, enter the Last Chatroom." The link led him to a plain, unremarkable page with a single button that read, "Join Chat." Curiosity piqued, Lucas clicked it. The screen went black for a moment before the chat room loaded. It was an old-school interface, reminiscent of the early days of the internet. The user list on the side was short, only a handful of people online. Their usernames were Odd, Watcher01, Shadow Eyes, Silent Scream, and Red Hand. Lucas hesitated for a moment before typing in a greeting. "Lucid Dreamer, hi. What's this place about?" For a few seconds there was no response. Then, one by one, the other users started typing. Watcher01, you found it. The Last Chatroom. Shadow Eyes, welcome, Lucid Dreamer. Few make it this far. Silent Scream, but once you're here, there's no leaving. Lucas felt a cold tingle at the base of his spine. He had encountered plenty of creepy internet roleplay before, but something about this chat felt different, more sinister. "Lucid Dreamer, what do you mean, no leaving? I can just close the window." The response was immediate. "Red Hand, try it." Lucas smirked, moving his mouse to the top corner of the window to click the X. But the cursor didn't move. He tried to alt-tab to another window. Nothing. His keyboard was unresponsive, and the chat window remained the only thing visible on his screen. His heart began to race. "Lucid Dreamer, what the hell?" Watcher01, you're part of us now. Silent Scream, everyone in this chat came here the same way, looking for something different. Now we belong to the room. Lucas's thoughts raced. He didn't believe in ghosts, curses, or any of that supernatural nonsense, but his computer was completely frozen, and the anxiety in his chest was growing by the second. "Lucid Dreamer, this isn't funny. How do I get out?" Shadow Eyes, there's only one way out. Before Lucas could respond, a new user joined the chat, the Keeper. The Keeper, welcome, Lucid Dreamer. The room has been waiting for you. A sharp chill settled in the room as Lucas stared at the screen. He didn't want to type, but something compelled him. "Lucid Dreamer, who are you?" The Keeper, I am the guardian of the room. You sought something more in the dark corners of the web, and now you found it. But every wish has a price. Lucid Dreamer, what do you want? The Keeper, your presence, your fear, your soul. Lucas's hands trembled as he tried to force himself to close his eyes, to turn away, to do anything but keep reading. But he couldn't stop. The screen began to flicker, and faint, shadowy figures seemed to move behind the chat window. His breathing became shallow as the room's temperature plummeted. Suddenly, the chat window changed. A new message appeared from the Keeper, different from the others, not in text but as a voice, a low, growling whisper that came from his speakers. Lucid Dreamer, look behind you. Lucas's blood ran cold. Every instinct screamed at him not to look, but the voice repeated, more insistent this time. Look behind you. Slowly, against his will, Lucas turned his head. At first there was nothing, just the dim glow of his computer screen illuminating the darkened room. But then in the corner something moved, something dark and formless, slithering along the floor like a thick, oily shadow. He tried to scream, but no sound came out. The shadow grew, taking shape, a twisted mockery of a human figure, eyes glowing with a malevolent red light. The air became thick, suffocating, as if the very room was alive and breathing with dark intent. Lucas's body was frozen in place as the shadow approached, inching closer and closer until it was right behind him. The screen flickered again, and the chat filled with laughter, taunting, malicious laughter. In a final, desperate act, Lucas reached for the power button on his computer. His finger hovered over it, but before he could press it, the shadow lunged, engulfing him in cold, suffocating darkness. The screen went black, and the room was silent. The next morning, Lucas's body was found slumped in his chair, eyes wide open, a look of sheer terror etched on his face. His computer screen displayed the chat room, but the user list was empty, except for one name, Lucid Dreamer, and below it, a single message from the Keeper. Another soul joins the room,